there's a Pulitzer committee that is composed of different, leading editors at publications. It could be magazines, it could be news stations, and they and they will editors will might submit their best stories, and it's different for the circulation of a paper. So if you're a newspaper with under 50, that'll be one category. So you're the papers competing with those papers that have a 50,000, and then there's 100,000, and then there might be millions, and so they are looking for, and there are different awards within the Pulitzers. So there could be best feature writing, there could be best spot news story. So when a crisis happens, like the LA fires, there's a team that is competing against another team at a paper that is also covering spot news, breaking news. So they break it down to categories. And so in my case, I had done this investigative story about the U.S. Food for Peace program, and how, just for example, there were these middlemen involved in shipping, and we got this secret, we got this unmarked something under the door, and my editor said, hey, check this out. And I checked it out, and it turns out that there was one company getting all these bids, for shipping that U.S. cargo. And I investigated, had lots of sources, went to DC, I had a deep throat, at one of the agencies, and came up with a story how it was really, in a way, rigged, because there was closed bidding on these to bid for these contracts, and they had to be U.S. ships. And I spent 3 months doing that story, and it was heard, and then it set off hearings in Congress on the way this was bid. So and then they revised the law. So for that, I'm trying, I guess it was investigative reporting, maybe that was in a category, but I was at a smaller paper, so I was in a different category than if I had been at the Wall Street Journal. So a Pulitzer is recognition of the best work in different categories in journalism.